What's going on, guys? It's Foolish Creations here, and today I've got a little surprise for you guys. As you can see, I'm going to be doing a review on Luxe. Now, you might be saying, what kind of Luxe is this? This is the Luxe X, guys. I just picked this up. I ended up selling my DSR. Kind of missed that thing. It was a beast, but I've got a Luxe X now, guys, so let's get into this review. So, when you first open it up, I bought this used, by the way, like I do all my guns now. You're gonna get a little manual, quick start guide, basically. It's just a 2-page thing, which is going to go over charging it, turning it on, settings, the velocity adjustment, all that kind of good stuff, which is nice. I like that they give you at least something in paper. They didn't give you that on the DSR. They kind of gave you a bolt breakdown, but at least they give you a little rundown here, which is nice. I don't like these online manuals. I don't have time for that. When you're on the field, you need to just have a paper copy, you know, if you don't have your phone on you or whatnot. So PE does a really good job of that. I actually had a CS2 and they give you a whole manual, which I like. So on the right side here, you've got your grease, your Luxe grease, which is a good, I mean, it's a hefty amount of grease. It's a nice big jar of grease, which I like. And then you're gonna get a little parts kit here with a couple, you know, nothing crazy. It's not a huge parts kit, but it's enough to probably do you for one rebuild on most of the items. And then the tried and true Freak system. So this is the Freak XL on the Luxe X. So this is the back for it. Barrel back had a bit of wear on it, which I wasn't aware of, but not too big of a deal. But yeah, so this is going to come with the Freak XL. The Luxe Ice comes with the standard Freak, so definitely an upgrade on the X. You got your 8-inch control board here. So it comes stock with a 687. Paint usually is borne out at 684, so I'm gonna have to add an extra insert or so. But for now, the 687 will do. As you can see, this piece kind of just sits in here. In here, you've got a nice big set of Allen keys. Like a really nice set of Allen keys. Like, this is solid. It's got tons of Allens. I don't even think you need this many Allen keys to take it apart, but it's got all of them in there, which is nice. One of the nicer Allen key sets I've seen. Got a rubber foregrip in case you're not a fan of the metallic one. Barrel sock right here. Nice little Luxe barrel sock. And the stock trigger. Mine has an upgraded trigger on it right now. The stock is just like a blade style trigger, I'd say. That's the stock trigger that comes on it. Just kind of a blade. Not too big of a fan on those, to be honest. I like the deuce triggers. And then coming over here, they give you a little breakdown of the regulator right here and the ASA, and then an O-ring size guide, which is good because, you know, that's a number 13 O-ring. I can size that up here. I need another number 10. I can size that up here. Helpful for maintenance, which is nice. And then over to the best part right here, guys, the Luxe X itself. It's actually a very nice looking gun. I like the two-tone. On this one here, we've got like a matte black kind of finish, and then you've got gloss black accents. So the feed neck, bolt, front grip, ASA lever, that is all in gloss black. Very nice. So we're going to set this over to the side and I'll go over some of the features. So first off, we'll start from the top, I guess. The clamping feed neck, very nice. It's got a nice thumb lever wheel adjustment right here. It fits the Spire 3 really good. You can tighten it down, no issues. I like this feed neck, very nice. Good quality feed neck, and it kind of got this ridge in here, so it sits in and it's not like moving all over the place. It's in there. Next off, we'll go to the eye covers. So for these, you don't need an Allen screw. It's just this little tab here. So I use my finger inside for the ball detents. So kind of push on that while you push on the switch here, and put my finger on the back. And then you can kind of pick it out. It's a little finicky. I wish they kind of came out with a little bit easier design, but yeah, you can just pull it out like that. It is nice though, because it's toolless. Once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. So right here, guys, that little spring, that is your ball detent. So that's what's holding the balls from your loader in place so they don't roll down your barrel. It's a good system, I like it. A lot of the other markers you'll see out there will have little rubber detents that'll sit in here, and they wear out over time and whatnot. But as you can see, you got your eye wire there, so you can clean that up nice and easy. Pull that out, clean it up if it gets dirty or you chop paint. But then just putting it back in, you just, there's a little lip here, put the front nose in, and it just snaps in. It's magnetic, and it's not coming out. It's in there. So that's a pretty cool feature, toolless eye cover removals. Next off, I guess we'll go over the bolt. So to remove the bolt on the Luxe X, I've seen some people, they're like, it's hard to get out, blah, blah, blah. You got to have nails to grab under the top and pull this lever out. You don't need nails, guys, at all. Like this, you don't pick at it with your nail. You don't need that. On the back cap here, where it's got the Luxe X symbol, you're just going to push down. So when you're pushing down there, that's going to open it right up. So just push and grab it with your hand, and then straight back out. After it sits for a while, it does get kind of stuck, so just be careful with it. But right here, guys, this is the X Core. Super reliable, totally different design from the Luxe Ice. This is now, I think it's called an unbalanced spool valve, if I'm correct. There's no springs in here, so pretty easy maintenance. We'll just tear this apart really quick. So basically, there's a few pieces to this. Very simple for maintenance. You unthread this part right here. This whole core comes out. And then your bolt tip right here, just going to push that out. That's it, basically. That's all you really need to do for maintenance. Like, these pieces come out here. So maintaining your bolt's really easy. You're just going to want to lube up this inside O-ring, this outside O-ring here. There's one on the inside here, so make sure you lube that one up. It's important. The bolt tip itself, lube up these two O-rings, a couple you see on here, and this piston, I would call it, I think. So you'd lube up all these O-rings, and that's about it. Putting it back together, pretty easy. Throw that in there. Throw this bolt tip into the can. Throw this bad boy back in the back. And thread it back together. So yeah, super easy as far as maintenance goes. Now when you put it back in, your marker, you're gonna slide it in, and then on the back here, there's this little metal tab. That's actually the locking pin. I don't know if you guys can see that, this tab here. When you push back on that, that retracts in. We gotta make sure it lines up with this indent here. So when you're pushing it in, just make sure it lines up, in, and then down. And that's it. That's all you gotta do. Let's wipe some of the grease off here. Now, for the next part, trigger, pretty nice. This is a, I don't know what kind of trigger this is. This is a little different style. I guess it's a scythe trigger. I'm not sure. It's not bad. I still prefer a deuce feeling trigger, but nice trigger, nice wide trigger frame so you can really get your fingers in there and walk the trigger. So that's nice. No gripes about that. Next off, I guess we'll go into the grips here. So on this side of the grips, these are snap grips. So basically you can literally just put your nail under there and just pull that, and then pull this top one, and you can open your grips up. So it looks like you can remove it with an Allen key, but you don't need to for this side because you can just snap it open. Now in here, you've got your Luxe X rechargeable battery. So no more with the 9 volts and all that other stuff with the other companies or AA's. You don't need to change your batteries, you just need to recharge it. Now this battery is a large battery compared to the Ice. I think you can get a ton more shots off with this battery. Now to charge it, you've got a little USB-C charging port right there. So you just plug that connector in and it's going to charge your battery for you, which is pretty easy, super simple. Like you can charge it in your car on the way to the field if you forgot to charge it and whatnot. So that's nice. And then removing the battery, there's just these little turn tabs and you can pull it out the front if you have another battery as a backup. But yeah, super easy. And then just putting your grips back in, there's a little tab on the top here that kind of slides under the frame. So you're just going to want to kind of slide that under, and then you're just going to snap that one in and snap that side in, and that's it. The other side does not have snap grips though, guys. So if you want to pull the other side off, you will need to get your Allen key out and unscrew those, which isn't a big deal. Now onto the ASA. As you can see here, guys, this ASA is nice and flush, and it is just a lever style. So you're gonna just pop it up like that. That's gonna degas your marker, and then push it down, and it's not gonna catch on anything. You're not gonna degas it during play. It is, I feel like if you had gloves on, it would be a little bit of a struggle to open. Like if you just go like that, I can't flip it open. So you almost need a nail kind of, or you gotta have kind of small fingers to get under there. It's not a horrible design, but it's not the best design. I'd still rather the PE Pops ASA. It's a little bit easier. You don't need to have a nail to get under there and flick that up. But either way, it's nice. It locks into place with a magnet, and it's held down with a magnet, so that's nice. Other than that, it's a pretty sweet marker. One of the coolest things I would say is how the frame detaches from the body here. So on other markers, you'll usually see an Allen key screw or Allen screw right here, and usually one behind the bolt latch here or right under here. As you can see, there is no Allen screws in these two positions. So the way you take this apart is you got to pull the bolt out like so. There's a latch right here. So we're going to flip this latch up like that. And right over here, there is this black little latch right there. So what you do is you grab your finger and you slide this tab backwards. Mine needs a little bit more love. I think on the newer ones, probably not so tight, but you just slide that back. And now, guys, basically what we can do is carefully wiggle your frame down. And just make sure this is make sure this back one's pushed fully forward, and you can take your top of the gun off from the frame. And that's it. That's pretty cool, guys, that you don't need to worry about any eye wires or any stuff, any kind of battery wires inside the grip. You can just pull it right apart with no tools, which I think is a genius design. So right here, you've got your new updated solenoid. Fancy looking. And that's about it. I mean, there's not much to this gun. You've got some terminals here, which looks like, I don't know what those are for, obviously for the battery or for the eyes. But yeah, that's how easy that is to take apart, guys. I mean, can't get much simpler than that. Now, as far as putting it back together, the solenoid here has got these little terminals which connect inside the frame. So when you put it back together, you're going to want to make sure you line it up nice and good, that we don't jam anything or break anything. So these little terminals here, just got to be careful with them when you're putting it back together. You don't want to break anything. There we go, and that's put back together. So I don't know if you guys can see that, those little gold or brass looking pins, those actually touch the circuit board for the solenoid. You just want to make sure that they're lined up correctly and you don't smash anything in there. So once that's back, you want to just pop your latches down and slide the front latch forward all the way until you hear the click. And now it's not coming apart, guys. And that's it. I mean, snap, you put your grips back in, snap, snap. Very nice gun, guys. I shot it the other day. I haven't had a time to actually go play with it yet. I'm hoping next weekend I'm going to be able to test it out. Maybe get some footage of me testing it out. But very clean looking marker. Lots of room for your front hand to get in there. Definitely more room than the DSR. I can actually get my whole hand in between here, which is nice. Usually on the DSR, my knuckle right here would hit the trigger frame, which would be kind of annoying. So you kind of had to hold it like this or like this. I like actually wrapping get my whole hand in there, so you can kind of, it's more comfortable in my opinion. But yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this review of the Luxe X. If you guys liked it, leave a thumbs up and subscribe, guys. Take it easy.